Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the components in React.js. So in the introduction lecture only, we had some discussion about the components, but now in this video, we are going to discuss about the components briefly. Let's start with the definition of components. So components are the basic building blocks of any React application and that they are reusable. So let's understand this definition by using a example. Whenever you create a new React application, we will get the index.html file and we'll also get the app.js component, which is a parent component. So these app.js component needs to be placed in the index.html file because index.html file accepts only one component. So that component name is app.js component, which is a parent component. So we have to place any other child components in the app.js components only. We cannot place more than one component in the index.html. It is opposite to the React structure. We should place only one component in the index.html, that is app.js component. So in the app.js components, we can add any number of child components. They are not limited. We can add any number of components. So here in the app.js component, we have the navbar component, sidebar component, body.js component, and these footer.js component. These are all the child components in the app.js component. This is the component structure in React. Now let's see the different types of components in React.js. In React.js, we have mainly two types of components. They are class components and functional components. Class components are also called as stateful components and functional components are also called as stateless components. In the further videos, we will discuss about the stateful components and stateless component. Now we will discuss about only how to print hello world on the screen using these two components. Let's start with the class components. First, we need to write an import statement in class component, that is import react component, which needs to be placed in the curly braces from React. So these statement states that we need to import the component from the React library. Without importing the component, we cannot create a class component in React.js. So these statement will be must in class components. After importing the component, we need to create the class followed by the class name. First we need to write the class followed by the class name. Here the class name is app, which extends the react.component class. This react.class component is present in the component. So that's why we have imported this component. So after extending react.component, we need to write the render method, which is present in the react.component class. So in that render method only, we need to return the HTML content, whatever the content it may be. We can return the div, we can return the h1, or we can return the images, etc. So first we need to import the React component from React library. After that, we have to write the class name, which extends the react.component. So in that react.component, we have a method called render. In that render method only, we have to return the HTML content. After returning the HTML content, we have to close the render method and we have to close the class app. This is the structure of class component in React. So this will print the hello world on the screen. So now we will print the hello world on the screen using the functional component. So compared to class component, the boilerplate code in functional component is very less. So we just need to write the function keyword. After function keyword, we have to write the function name. Here also the function name is same, which is app, which is also a default component in React.js. After writing the function name, we have to write the function definition. In that function definition, we have to return the HTML content. That's it. There is no react.component, there is no render method in the functional component. It's very simple compared to class components. In the next video, we are going to repeat the things practically. Means we are going to print the hello world on the screen using class components and we are going to print the hello world on the screen using functional components practically. Thank you. See you in the next class.